Welcome, guys, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. Something new tonight. We're just going to be talking about some sports. We have some topics joining us tonight. We have Tyler Randall. Tyler, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing fine, super fine.
Well, that's very good to hear.
That's very fine.
That's very good to hear,
Very
Tyler.
fine.
Yeah, here are some topics for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about Finals Game 3, the Finals predictions. Staying in the NBA, we're going to look at Wemby on next season, Victor Wembanyama. Then we're going to talk about Ja Morant a little bit. Going on to the NFL, we're going to talk about the Colts scandal, the betting scandal. We're going to have some NFL hot takes, and then we're going to get back into current events. We're going to talk about De La Cruz for the Reds. We're going to talk about the PGA merger with the Live, and then we're going to talk about our weekend bets. But, guys, let's start with this NBA game, Game 4. It's at halftime, 55-51. What do you guys think of Game 3 so far?
Tyler, I'll let you go first on this.
Bro, this game's been boring.
What?
I think it's two boring teams playing, but it's the finals, so you got to watch it. So, yeah, that's just kind of my take on tonight's game. I just wasn't overly entertained till the half anyways, so.
Yeah, Trey, I know you were away with a friend talking to the newborn baby, but I did watch the first half. He didn't lie. It was very boring. Both teams not playing very well. Looking at the stats, it looks dead even. I thought the Heat outplayed Denver in the first half, and Denver still won. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half. Hopefully the Heat can make a comeback and force a 2-2 series in this force 2-2 going back to Denver. But what do you think, Trey?
Oh, well, I think we got Dennis Burns in the chat. Shout out Dennis Burns. I also got Kelly Stevens. But yes, my Game 4, I'm just looking at the box score. Like you said, I didn't watch it. I listened to it on the radio. And from what I was listening, it sounds like you said, the Heat were outplaying them, and there was nothing that they could do because they got Nikola Jokic. Even on a bum ankle, Jokic is still out there playing like the best player on the floor. So I'm excited. I know Tyler doesn't like scoring. I mean, I know Tyler likes scoring. He doesn't like the unders, but I love the undies, as Bear knows. So for me, it's been an entertaining game.
Yeah, guys, and make sure if you guys are watching right now, put hashtag Deer in the comments. We are going to have a $50 giveaway at the end of the show. You have to put hashtag Deer in the comments, and you have to be present to win. So put hashtag Deer in the comments. Guys, who do you think is going to win the finals? Just give me a prediction. Who's going to win it all? Tyler?
Denver.
Trey?
Well, I gave out the Miami Heat -2.5 on the final series line. They just need to win tonight to cash that bet, by the way. I hope the Heat win. I'd love to see Jimmy Butler buckets, Michael Jordan Butler to get another championship. So I love that.
I'm going to say the Heat's going to win. I think they're going to win in 7 games. It's going to be great. Let's stay in the NBA, though. Let's talk about Wemby. Victor Wembanyama, standing at 7'2", 229 pounds. What?
7'4".
I got 7'2", 229, and I think that's lying about the weight, honestly. I think he's like 200. He is no doubt number 1 pick in the draft in my eyes. And he got the perfect landing spot in my position going to the Spurs, where they have had Robinson and Duncan in the past, 2 of the best centers ever in the NBA. The culture's great. The coach is great. The young man gets popped for his rookie season, so you couldn't ask for a better spot for him. Personally, I think he's going to be a monster. He obviously needs to get a little bit more muscle, but that's going to come in time. His bag is insane on offense. He's a great defender as well. What do you guys think? Draft position, obviously one. Concerns about his height and weight, where he falls in terms of prospect ever. Tyler, I'll start with you.
Yeah, he's obviously going to go number 1. He got the best landing spot. You kind of nailed it there. I'm not like overly like hyped up about him. I just think the height and weight definitely concerns me. Probably going to be injury prone in the NBA unless he puts on like 50, 60 pounds. Yeah, he's a big guy. Unless he's going to be the Slim Reaper 2.0 out there, but I just don't see it. I think he'll be a solid player, but I don't think he'll be like the next LeBron or KD or anything like that.
He's being compared to the next LeBron. Trey, you are the LeBron guy. Do you agree?
He's being compared as better LeBron. I don't know if you guys saw, Woj came out and said he is projected as the best team basketball prospect of all time. That's some high praise. I know Woj is not a draft evaluator. He's just a newsbreaker. But at the end of the day, Wemby does look good. Bear, I was watching the Hoop Collective podcast. That's with Brian Windhorst, and Brian Windhorst said 7'4", so that's what I'm going with. And that is absolutely massive. Like, we see Kristaps Porzingis just out there towering over everyone. Well, I think Wemby is significantly more athletic than Kristaps. The only thing that worries me is the injuries, but that's an uncontrollable. You shouldn't be worrying about that. If you're just putting on the tape, kind of like Kelly Stevens said, saw some tape, unbelievable. That's a fact. I saw the guy miss a 3-pointer, get his own rebound, and put it back up all in one motion. So
yeah, A putback dunk from 3 is incredible for a 7'4" guy who literally crossed everybody up going down. No way he's going to be. Right, Dennis. Like, he's not going to be as good as King James.
Dennis
Nobody
nailed it.
can be
He nailed
as
it.
good as King James. But let's move on here. We're going to stay in the NBA. Let's talk about Ja Morant, the gun situation. This man's addicted to showing off his gun on Insta videos, guys. What do you guys think will happen to him? Should he be given a suspension for his actions? Trey, I'll start with you.
Yes. Did you guys hear about what Adam Silver said yesterday?
I did not.
No.
Apparently, Ja Morant and his associates are trying to convince Adam Silver that gun was in fact a toy gun.
Toy gun.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's a toy, not toy. It's not a toy. You're a grown man hanging around, wannabe gangsters. It's not a toy gun. And at the end of the day, if it wasn't a toy, if it was a toy, it doesn't matter. You're still Ja Morant. You shouldn't be flashing a fake gun on Instagram after you just got in trouble with Adam Silver a month and a half before that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Demetrius Edwards is saying 25-game suspension. I'd love to hear what you guys think as well. I would say at least half the season, 41 games. But I don't know. Adam Silver, Brian Windhorst also said Adam Silver is significantly less, strict than what David Stern was. So we don't really know what he's going to do because he gave Gilbert Arenas the full year. So he was saying, that was David Stern. Adam Silver's half of it. So Brian Windhorst said half a season. So that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, Trey, I'm going to go next. First, I want to say everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. That's important to note. But with that said, I think the NBA should come down hard on Ja Morant with the punishment. And I think that because while this is a free country and you're allowed to have a gun, people still forget that the NBA is a company. They're an organization, and those players sign contracts that say they cannot do certain things. The NBA has a strict anti-gun policy. So, yes, Ja Morant did have a gun probably on his own property with his own time. But he did still have an obligation to follow the rules off of the contract that he signed with the NBA when he went into the NBA. So I think that the NBA gave him a pass on the first time. It wasn't too much of a punishment. And I thought that was a very good thing for the NBA to do. Obviously, he's a young kid. He's got a lot of money. When you're a young kid, you make a lot of mistakes. So that was good by the NBA. But the second time around, the NBA needs to suspend him for some games. And I wouldn't hate to see him get some help counseling or something along those lines. I don't know what he's trying to do. I mean, there were talks about him being hard or whatever, the 3 people online that went at him. I don't know what you're trying to do, young man. Like, just play basketball, make millions of dollars, and stop trying to be fake hard. Like, nobody cares. Just play basketball. Tyler, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of going to side with Trey here. I think it'll be at least half the season. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a full year. You kind of nailed the point I was thinking of. Just like thinking of my own personal employer. If I flashed a gun on Instagram Live, I'd probably get a pretty stern talking to, if not potentially lose my job. I think a lot of people could second that. So I think they need to take this situation as serious as possible and just really make it an example.
Yeah, and I hope it's not I hope it's not a year, but I do hope it's a significant amount of games. And I hope he does learn his lesson because first time you let it pass, second time it's a problem. So hopefully they get that figured out. Let's move on to the NFL, guys. Colts betting scandal. Let's talk about this. So this came out earlier this week. Isaiah Rodgers for the Indianapolis Colts has made hundreds of wagers, which involved his team he plays for, the Indianapolis Colts. He bet on the Colts, and sometimes he didn't bet on the Colts, but all those bets were on the account without his name on it. I'm not sure how they caught him. My guess would be that he makes millions of dollars, and now he has $0 in the bank account if he's betting on the Colts because the Colts are horrible. What do you guys think of this? Tell me what you guys are thinking. Tyler, I'll start with you.
He was probably betting on them to lose and not cover games. But, I mean, no, pretty much I don't think he's the only one out there. I think he's just one of the most recent one that's got caught. And I think this is just going to periodically trickle throughout the league. I think all players are going to get suspended for bets.
Yeah, this is what I said. The only thing I thought about when this came out, unfortunate that Isaiah Rodgers was the one that got caught because I'm not going to sit here and pretend that 90% of the NFL doesn't bet on their own games. You can't tell me that there aren't more players betting on their own games. You can easily get somebody to bet on your games, throw them some cash, say, hey, make an account. I don't know you. You don't know me. Let's make money and be friends. But since he did get caught, he's going to be banned from the NFL, I think. If Calvin Ridley got a 1-year suspension for what he did, Isaiah Rodgers should probably be suspended for 10-plus years from NFL activities. The man plays hundreds of bets, which is probably years of betting in the NFL. A tough way for Isaiah Rodgers to go out. But again, he's the one that got caught. This is happening all the time in the NFL and probably in all major sports. So that is what I think about the situation. Trey, what about you?
Okay, so listen here. I've actually dove a little bit deep into this. This guy, don't know if you guys know this, but I don't know if our viewers do. This guy signed up under a fake name. Don't know if it was his sister's name, mom's name, somebody else's name, put their social in there, did that. He thought he was in the clear.
Yeah.
He's over there throwing bets out in the team facility. FanDuel or DraftKings, whichever one he was betting on, pinged it. Because, you open up the FanDuel app, it says, checking location, checking location. Oh, okay, green check mark, you're good. They know you're there. They probably have a relationship with the NFL. If you're betting in the team facility, they will find you. Quick question. Imagine if it comes out at halftime, he bet on the Minnesota Vikings for that 31-0 comeback. Imagine if he cashed that plus 800 bet. Just imagine that. If that comes out, he will be banned forever and ever.
That is a good point. I mean, that would have been insane if he did that. I'm sure he's not the only one in the NFL betting on the games, but like Edward said here, the NFL opened up a can of problems when they legalized gambling. So, I mean, everybody gambles in the NFL, I think. Players, coaches, teams, GMs.
Hey, Edwards, I haven't seen you drop hashtag deer. Drop hashtag deer in the chat. You'll be eligible for a $50 giveaway. I'd love to add your name on the wheel, so make sure to drop hashtag deer in the chat.
Hashtag deer in the chat. $50 giveaway at the end. Guys, let's move to NFL hot takes for the upcoming season. Trey, I'll start with you.
Oh, God. Okay, I don't know if you guys know me. And if you do, I am a Las Vegas Raiders fan. I think, hot take, we're going to get 1.01 next year. Jimmy G going to be injured by week 3. And in comes in our rookie backup, and we're going to tank for Caleb Williams. And I'll be sitting here April 2024, cracking open a bottle of champagne, looking at Patrick Mahomes like, you must have enjoyed the last, 8 years. It's my time now, buddy. Hot take. Raiders going to get 1.01 next year. Turn that to a championship by 2025.
Yeah, you're dreaming, buddy. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to go with one of my takes, and I'm going to let Tyler go. My first hot take is going to be that the Detroit Lions are going to win a playoff game this season. It's really not a hot take. I feel like a lot of people are on the Lions. They finished the last 10 games of the year 8-2, and they beat the Green Bay Packers in their last game to keep them out of the playoffs. The Detroit Lions last year simply just ran out of games. They are bringing back a lot of players from last year. They did get another running back in Gibbs. They drafted him very early, pick 12 in the draft. He is going to make an immediate impact. And then after that, they went for some defense, got Brian Branch, Jack Campbell, 2 really good players. And then they got a tight end, Sam Laporte from Iowa. The best pick of the draft, I think, for them was Hendon Hooker, though. The Tennessee quarterback who had that horrible knee injury was one of the Heisman candidates before the injury. That is a run and gun quarterback, and that's exactly what the Lions want to do. Let him learn for a year or so, and then in 2 years' time, the Detroit Lions will win the Super Bowl. 2 years' time, the Detroit Lions will win the Super Bowl. That is my hot take. Tyler, give me your hot take, and I'll give my last one.
Oh, my God. The Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dolphins being a legit Super Bowl contender. I truly believe that they're going to be in the AFC Championship game this upcoming season, especially if they do get Dalvin Cook, who got released today. I'd love what their team makeup is. They're fast, and if Tua stays healthy, that offense is arguably the best in the league. But if Tua is not there, then their season's going to crumble. So they added Jalen Ramsey in the offseason, kind of secure that corner position. So I love what they're doing down there in Miami, and the AFC's it's tough, but I like their odds.
Yeah, the problem is with Miami is that Tua is one hit away from being done for his career. So that's something to look for there. I hope he doesn't get another concussion, because I think if he does, they have to shut him down, right? There's no other option for him. That's for his own health. But my second hot take is going to be the Dallas Cowboys. You guys know what I'm going to say?
They're going to win the Super Bowl, baby. Dak Prescott MVP, baby. Let's go.
Dallas Cowboys will not make the playoffs this year. Another year of misery for myself and Big Blue Nation. Until we move on from Dak Prescott, we will never be relevant, and we will never win the Super Bowl. We need to move from Dak Prescott, and that won't happen until Jerry Jones leaves the team, and that won't happen until the good Lord himself is ready. So we have a lot of time to think about what we want to do in the next 10 years or so, because we won't win with what we have now. The defense can only do so much. I'm very upset that Micah Parsons is wasting his prime. Dallas is not going to make the playoffs, probably an 8-9 season. I can't wait to see the Eagles in the Super Bowl again. They're going to run that division for 10 years. Oh, I'm going to hate my life. But, guys, let's move on to some current events. Let's go to Reds new star, Ely De La Cruz. This guy is awesome, and it is exactly what baseball needs. He's a 21-year-old. He was born in 2002, so that should make us feel a little bit old. He's a 6'5". He can play anywhere in the infield, but he's playing at shortstop right now. He has already had some incredible highlights in just a week of playing. He has an incredible speed, probably the fastest player in the MLB right now. What do you guys think of De La Cruz, Trey?
Well, he's been great so far. I don't know about his game that he played today, but his first 3 games, he's been batting 364. And I mean, coming into the majors as a rookie, that's impressive. He's already hit a home run. He's not waiting to make an impact on the Reds because the Reds, they certainly need his offensive production. So I love Ely. I think he's going to be a star. I love how, heavily Dominican and Cuban the MLB's getting, because those are where all the hard hitters are at.
Yep.
And you see Fernando Tatis and all of them just jack home runs. So I loved De La Cruz, and I hope that he's going to be cruising to an MVP here soon.
Yeah, and I also want to point out, Cincinnati Reds fans, we have a lot to look forward to if you're a fan. Cruz, McLean, Hunter Green, Will Benson, Spencer Steer, Jonathan India, all young players. All players are going to make a huge impact for the Reds in the future if they stay together. Money we'll talk later, though, so hopefully the Reds have enough to keep all those guys together. Tyler, what do you think of De La Cruz?
And Nick Lodolo.
Nick Lodolo, yeah.
He's an absolute stud. Like, Trey hit all the points. Like, he's been in the league for three games. He hit a home run in his debut. He's going to be a monster for years to come. I'm a pretty big fan of him. I watch baseball pretty much every day, so I like him. I've been betting on him and making some money. So
okay, so we need to attack Dennis Burns real quick. Earlier on, you see, look, Pittsburgh Steelers all the way downtown with Pittsburgh Steelers. Next comment, here in the Cincinnati area. You live in Cincy and you're not a Bengals fan? You got Joe Burrow? Come on, Dennis.
Maybe he's not a bandwagoner.
Hey, well, I guess I live in Kansas. We live in Kansas, and I'm a Raiders fan. So
I'm a Dallas
fan. Yeah. So I guess I could agree with that. So sorry for attacking you, Dennis.
The only Kansas City fan here is Tyler's not even a Kansas City fan, are you?
Dude, I fucking hate the Chiefs, man. There's nothing worse than living in Kansas City and just listening to everywhere Patrick Mahomes is, that, Travis Kelce's a god. Dude, they're good. They're good. Don't get me wrong, but if you hear it all day, every day, no matter who you talk to, I'm just trying to, pick out which grapes I want to take home. And at the store, and they're like, "Hey, did you see Patrick Mahomes throw a touchdown last night?" And I'm like, "No, bro, it's the fucking baseball season."
Yeah, that is true. A lot of Kansas City hate from the three of us, but they are the majority team here in Kansas. But let's move on to my favorite topic, the PGA merger kind of thing. This was some wild news the other day. A new company will be created that will be majority owned by the existing PGA Tour. The new company, however, will operate for profit in Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, which currently owns more than 90% of LIV. This means that they will now work together to allow a process for current LIV golfers to reapply for membership on the PGA Tour and the European Tour. That is also called the DP World Tour after the 2023 PGA season. So this is basically a peace treaty because the PGA is tired of the distraction of the LIV. The big thing is that all the litigation between all three parties, the European Tour, the PGA, and the LIV Golf, that's all gone. So this is what I'm calling the Jackie Moon contract, ELE. Everybody love everybody. Trey, I'll start with you. What do you think?
There's a lot of details coming out literally by the minute. Every time I think I have it figured out, and here comes a different headline tossing me a whole different direction. So I don't even really know what this deal is going to look like whenever it comes to the 2024 season, whenever they're putting the ball on the tee for the first time. But just looking at it, there's a few things that are 100% for sure. The PGA was about to go bankrupt. There's no doubt about that. They were about to go bankrupt. They were matching the LIV's high money purses because they knew all their players would leave. And as soon as they matched their high money purses, they had to pull out of their reserves. And that was making them bankrupt because, like Bear said, now they're for profit. They used to be not for profit, and it was a lot harder for them to generate revenue that way. So that is a very interesting thing. So the PGA was going bankrupt. So LIV saved them for that. The Saudi fund saved them for that. Second thing, it is infuriating to me. Do either of you guys watch Rich Eisen?
No.
Well, good, because he's standing on his high horse. He's literally hopping on his saddle, standing right on top of his high horse. It makes me so mad. All these people, and you know what? I'm sorry if I hurt people's feelings about it, but it just does not make any sense why you're connecting the dots with this and then the stuff that happened in 2001. I mean, if these people come out and they were involved, of course, 100% we should attack them, but not guilt by association. These people seem like they're great people. And they have created a very good product with LIV. If you've watched any LIV events, they have been very fun to watch. You turn on PGA, it's a snooze fest. We all turn on golf to take our weekend nap. You turn on LIV, and it's entertaining golf. So I'm hoping that LIV stays around. It looks like it's going to stay around. It looks like there's still two separate entities. It doesn't make much sense to me what it's going to look like at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad all the golfers are finally back together.
Yeah, so what I got from it, Trey, is that there will be a schedule where live golfers can play on PGA Tour events, including like the Memorial. It's not just limited to the big tournaments. So basically, what this is the people who went from the PGA to the live and got that big bag, they can now play in the PGA again. So they got all that money, and it was basically for nothing. And everybody from the PGA who didn't take the money, and Jay Monahan said, "Oh, you got to stay." America, he went to people's houses and cried and said the PGA is where we need to stand. We need to stay together, and then he sold out. So the big losers here are obviously the people in the PGA who didn't go to the live, who didn't get that bag, and now the live players who got the bag, they get to play in the PGA Tour events. So this looks really bad for Jay Monahan. He should be fired. Like I don't see any other way. Tyler, what do you think about?
Sorry, a lot of
Sorry,
people
good.
are saying that the live people should pay them. Like that does not make any sense. They're like, oh well, Tiger and Rory and Jordan and Justin Thomas, they need their money. They were
No,
back in the PGA. The PGA needs to have their back and make sure they get taken care of. That's not their problem.
no.
That's not their fault. You made your own decisions. Somebody put a $500 million, $250 million check in front of you, and you said, "I'll pass." That's your decision. Sorry, go on, Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler,
Uh,
you got anything?
yeah, I don't really keep up with golf too much. I'm not very good, so I typically just fall asleep. I haven't really kept up with Liv. I do know Rory's getting a lot of hate. I do know that much. So yeah, that's my take on it. I don't really know. I really don't know.
Rory is still standing. And what do you think it looks like in the long run? Because I'm pretty sure like the Live does team events, right?
Yes, and a lot of the PGA, like Rory said, I'm not doing that team shit with
Oh,
his
he's
little
done.
European accent. You don't have a choice. And at the end
Yeah,
of the
he has
day,
to.
the teams make it a lot easier. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot easier and a lot more fun to root for. I was cheering on the High Flyers. I love the High Flyers. I was a member of the Range Goats for a minute. The fact of the matter is, it's just another reason to watch. It's another reason to buy into it. It's another reason to, go buy some merch, sell some merch. Teams, it's fun. And they celebrate. They obviously care. If you've watched a live event, every team that wins that tournament, they celebrate. You can
Yes.
tell that that means a lot because they win money. Each team that wins, I think, wins $20 million, $5 million for each team.
Yeah,
Put money on it, people will care.
Yeah, I think this is good for golf, and it's going to be an adjustment for the PGA players who don't have like the crazy live event vibe yet. But if you watch a live event, it's fun to watch. So I think this is going to be good for golf. Yeah, hey, Demetrius, don't worry, man, we got you. It's looking hard there, but yeah, DEA, yeah. But well, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. We actually have our picks now. We're going to move on to our favorite weekend bets. We're going to do this just like Trey and I would usually do on a normal day. So Trey, let's get into our MLB picks and props for Saturday, June 10th slate of games. Take a look at that leaderboard. Start us off.
Yes, I didn't update it while I was gone, so it still says 0 for 0, but I can let you guys know exactly what I picked because it lost. It should be 0-1. I gave out the Marlins money line against the White Sox. And actually, let me go look at that score to see what it ended out being. Oh, it's actually 1-1 in bottom of the eighth. We still have hope. Yuri Perez, I hope you pitched good because I needed you to pitch good. So shout out to the Miami Marlins for at least making it a game.
Yeah, I had the Washington Nationals on the money line plus 170. A little bit of spice on this play. They were up 2-1, bottom eight. Atlanta scored 2 runs, so they lost 2-3. So not a great start for my night. But let's move on to our picks for today. Trey, start us off.
Yes, I'm attacking the best team in the MLB with the Oakland Athletics at the Milwaukee Brewers game. This game might be a dead of a game if you just scroll by it, but I think I did find us some great edges here. The Oakland A's, I don't got to say it. We all know they're very bad. They easily have the worst record in the MLB with a 14-50 record, 7-26 on the road, just absolutely pitiful. And this Milwaukee Brewers team, they've been decent. They've been great, actually. They sit atop the NL Central with a 34-29 record, 18-13 at home. They've been dominant at home. And the A's, we all know it. They're trying to lose every game. They're trying to get that number 1 pick. And the Brewers, they're competing. They're in first place in their division. So with that just alone, I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers -0.5 on the first 5 run line. It's -115. That's the right amount of juice for me. These two teams are just wordly apart, especially if we factor in these pitchers. Oakland, they're throwing out Paul Blackburn in this game. He's only pitched in 2 games for them this season, and he's turned that into 9 innings pitched, allowing 6 runs on 11 hits. He's had a rough season, and I think it's going to continue in this game versus Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, they're throwing out Julio Terrain in this game, and he's only pitched in 3 games as well. But he's turned that to a 1-2 record, but with a staggering 1.56 ERA. So look for him to come into this home game with a ton of confidence behind him as well. And whenever it comes to scoring runs in the first 5 innings, the Brewers, they're just way above the A's in those rankings. Oakland, they're ranked 27th, only scoring 2.11 runs in the first 5 innings per game. In Milwaukee, they're all the way up at 14th, scoring 2.54 runs per game in the first 5. I expect Oakland to honestly get shut out in the first 5, and with that, all we need is the Brewers to score one single run, and I think that they could do that against Paul Blackburn. So give me the Milwaukee Brewers -0.5 on the first 5 run line versus the A's.
Yeah, Trey, I like it. For my play today, I'm going to be looking at the San Diego Padres traveling to Coors Field and taking on the Colorado Rockies. I'm going to grab the Rockies here on the money line, +115 in this game. Both pitchers on the mound for this contest we have talked about a lot on this channel. The Rockies will have Kyle Freeland, and the Padres will have Ryan Weathers. I'm going to start with the Padres and Ryan Weathers, who are bringing in the second worst offense this far in the season. Just a reminder for everybody. The Padres having Ryan Weathers on the mound means that I get to attack him in this game. Over the last 4 games, Weathers has been giving up 4+ earned runs in 3 of the last 4 games, and he has given up 7+ hits in 3 straight games. He is going to get beat up again in this game against the Rockies, who have a top 10 offense this season, and we'll have Kyle Freeland on the mound. Kyle is going to have a great start today against the Padres because that is what he does for this team at home. Over his last 3 starts at home in Colorado, he has only given up 2 earned runs in those 3 starts. He is the reverse Austin Gomber, who got absolutely crushed today. And with this team giving him some run support in this game, going up against Ryan Weathers, I think this is a great bet, getting plus money with the better batting team and the better pitcher on the mound. Give me the Rockies money line. The mountains are blue on a Saturday afternoon, Trey. Trey, let's move to our – actually, Tyler, give us an MLB pick really quick, and then we'll move on to player props.
Let's do Marlins -1.5 for tomorrow. Sandy's on the mound. I fucking love betting Sandy. I get burned by the White Sox I feel like every day. So Miami.
Oh, they're playing the White Sox?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great pick. I mean, if anytime you can bet against the White Sox, that's a great play. Dennis said we've got a broken rim in the finals.
I think I don't know if he's being literal or a low-scoring affair. I'm not quite for sure, but either way,
It looks like they're just showing the I don't know who that is, some bald guy. So something's going on.
Dennis, let us know if that's real or not. let us know if it's a joke or if it's anything. But all right, Trey, let's move on to our player props from yesterday. Start us off.
Yes, and I'm 0 for 0 so far, at least to the best of my knowledge. I gave out Mike Trout over 7 fantasy score versus the Mariners and Garrett Cole over 6.5 strikeouts versus the Red Sox. I have complete faith that both of them are going to hit. I think Trout, he's in the bottom of the 3rd and he has not got on base yet. But Garrett Cole, he's going to be striking out so many Red Sox batters, and I'm pumped to watch it.
Yeah, I went 1-1. I had Lane Thomas over 1.5 bases. He got a single his first at-bat, which I thought he'd do against the guy coming up from the minors, and then he went 0-4 after that. So tough loss there. I had Austin Gomber, though, as my win, over 3.5 earned runs. He allowed 6 runs in 1 1/3 inning. So on the road again, Austin Gomber, or at home again, Austin Gomber, horrible. So 1-1 day. Trey, let's move on to our plays for tonight. Start us off.
Yes, and we talked about him earlier in the live show. I'm going to be going with Ellie De La Cruz over 7.5 fantasy score versus the Cardinals. Sorry, Tyler. I know you're a big Cardinals fan, but Ellie, he's really enjoyed a warm welcome into the majors. Much of us were introduced to him with his call-up to the majors video that was circling around last week. And we are recording before his game started yesterday, or I guess today for the video. But the first 3 games that he has played has been great. He is batting .364 with 4 hits, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and 3 runs scored in only 11 at-bats. In fact, he's gone over the 7.5 fantasy score number in all 3 of his games so far. And I expect it to continue because of his matchup here versus the Cardinals and Miles Mikolas. Mikolas has only allowed the 2nd most hits in the major leagues with 85 in 74 innings. He has not been good, and I expect De La Cruz to have himself a day at Busch Stadium and possibly hit another home run in this game and cash the over for us easily here. So give me Ellie De La Cruz over 7.5 fantasy score versus the Cardinals.
Yeah, Trey, I like that. For my batting prop tonight, I'm going to be looking at Mike Trout over 1. A stretcher? We're missing. What are we missing?
She looks smashed.
Off the game for 15 minutes to go live, and we're missing people getting carted off? What is going on? We got a broken rim and a fan being stretchered off. All right. Good job. Well, that sucks. All right, for my batting prop tonight, I'm going to be looking at Mike Trout over 1.5 bases going up against the Seattle Mariners. This has been a very down year for Mike Trout, who is now hitting .262 on the season, his worst batting average of his career besides his first season where he hit 220 on the year. I think it's safe to say that Mike Trout is getting out of his prime in the MLB career. But in this game, I expect him to have not one, but 2 home runs against the Seattle Mariners. Yes, it's a ridiculous statement, but if Brian Wu is able to stay in the game for more than a couple innings, I think Mike Trout can send 2 deep in this game. Wu is the starting pitcher for the Seattle Mariners, and in his first start from the minors, he went 2 innings, giving up 6 earned runs, and now has a 27 ERA in his MLB career. It's highly unlikely that Mike Trout hits 2 home runs, but I'm feeling something in this game, guys. I can't really describe what it is. It's just a gut feeling. I think the Trout horn is going to be blown twice in this game. Give me Mike Trout over 1.5 bases as my first play. Trey?
Yeah, so my pitching prop, I gave this out in his first start, and he absolutely smashed the over. It's Tristan McKenzie over 5.5 strikeouts versus the Astros. I will preface this by saying, guys are watching the live right now at 9:30 p.m. Central Time, so obviously the Prize Pick lines have not come out yet. This is what his prop was in his first game. If it's up to 6.5, I'll take it. Up to 7, I'll take it. 7.5, I'll stay away, though. McKenzie, he's only started in 1 game this season since coming back from an injury, and he looked absolutely elite, not missing a beat at all. He pitched in 5 shutout innings and only allowed 1 hit while striking out 10 batters. But yes, this is a slightly risky play because he's going up against the Astros team whose offense can catch fire at any moment. In Houston, they do a great job of not striking out as well. They're the 7th-ranked team in the MLB, only striking out 8.05 times per game. But with McKenzie on the mound, I have faith that they're going to that he's going to get at least 6 strikeouts in this game versus the Astros. McKenzie should be able to pitch at least 6 innings in this game. With the Astros only averaging 2.4 runs in the first 5, he should make it to at least the 6th inning here. And that will allow us to cash the over 5.5 strikeouts for Tristan McKenzie.
Yeah, Trey, I like McKenzie there too. For my pitching prop tonight, I'm going to be looking at Aaron Nola over 19.5 outs against the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is a big number for Aaron Nola, who has been inconsistent on the season. But if you guys remember last time out, when I gave him out with the Detroit Tigers, I said that game can turn around his season. He went out against the Tigers. He had a no-hitter through 6 innings and allowed 0 earned runs in 7 innings of work, striking out 12 batters. I think that game really boosted his confidence, and he's going to come out against the Dodgers and throw another great game. He has already seen the Dodgers one time this season. He went 19 outs, which is 6 1/3 innings, giving up 4 earned runs in that game. But this is not the same Aaron Nola that was in that game. The Los Angeles Dodgers are still hovering around the 20th ranked team in the MLB in terms of batting average this season. And the Philadelphia Phillies are not scared to leave Aaron Nola out there for a long period of time, even if he's getting hit around. Nola has thrown 100-plus pitches in 4 starts this year and has thrown 4 times 98 pitches in 4 starts this year. So in 8 games, he has got at least 98 pitches. I like the over in this game as the Phillies will let him work out of trouble if he does get in trouble against the Dodgers. I don't think he's going to get in trouble, but I don't think we have anything to worry about. It should be another great outing for him. Give me the over 19.5 outs for Aaron Nola. Tyler, give me your best prop for tomorrow.
Oh, I was not prepared for the prop. Let's just go Sandy over strikeouts. I hate the White Sox.
Over how many? You got a number?
6.5.
Over 6.5 strikeouts. All right. That is a set number by Tyler Randall right there. If it's not 6.5, do not sue us. But guys, let's get to the $50. Let's get to the $50 giveaway. I think we should have what, 6 names, 5 names, something like that.
Let's see. I think it's 5. Yep,
5
5.
names.
Good luck,
Hey,
everybody.
1 in 5 chance to win $50. Thank you guys for being here in the live. Let's do it.
Hey, and you guys got 5 more seconds. If there's someone who is in this live that does not draft hashtag Deer, I will give you 5 more seconds to drop it, and I'll add your name on the list. Oh, Big Tone. All right. Drop hashtag Deer. Come on. Last second. Let's go.
Put hashtag Deer. We'll give you another 10 seconds. 10.
I'm on the list and hoping he puts his name. All right. Let's go. Big Tone, I put you on the list. I'm taking confidence that you dropped hashtag Deer in an alternate reality. All right. Good luck, everybody.
Only right. There goes Edwards, right?
Demetrius, let's go. You earned it right there, honestly.
Yeah, you did, Demetrius. You worked hard to put that hashtag Deer in the comments. But Demetrius, reach out to us. Drop a comment on this video down below, or you can reach out to us, bearsprofitplays@gmail.com or at bearsprofit on Twitter. Send us a DM. We'll set you up with $50. We do Cash App. We do PayPal. We do Venmo. We do it all. So, guys, thank you for being here. We are going to hop off right now in the live, but make sure you guys like this video and make sure you guys come back for our video tomorrow morning. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.